give a little peek under the curtain of what defines Alan and how you run things today.
Absolutely. I'll try to do my best in a very short, approach. So I was born in Bosnia. I actually moved back here, and I was an immigrant, a refugee my entire life. Spent 5 years in Germany during the Bosnian War, and I spent over 20 years in the United States, primarily Chicago. Lived a little bit in Cleveland, Fort Worth, Texas, Louisville, Kentucky. So I've kind of traveled, and again, especially with my parents first tried to look for work, we ended up living in a lot of different places. And, I started building websites in high school. And to be honest with you, one of my proudest moments today is being able to help mom and dad pay the bills by doing these kind of side gigs and projects, by building websites for car washes and so forth. So I've been doing that since high school. It's been 25 years, by the way. So it tells you a little bit about my age as well. And I've been doing this over the past 25 years. I've had 5 different internet companies. I've actually had 2 other kind of local companies. I was lucky enough to sell 7 different businesses, bootstrap things. Again, from being a refugee all the way down, I've generated across all these different ventures over 75 million, maybe a bit more in revenue, which was again, something that I'm very proud of. I've also worked with some really amazing brands, especially in the e-commerce sector for the last decade. I've worked with, of course, the big guys like Pepsi, Condé Nast, Anheuser-Busch. I've worked with Fenty Beauty, Billie Eilish fragrance, Paris Hilton fragrance, LeBron James, Steph Curry's wife, Ayesha Curry. We built her cooking subscription site, of course, and then big brands like Tula Skincare, Dr. Squatch, Ghost Lifestyle, and so many others. Over my lifetime, I've done over 1,000 projects. I've built 20 different apps, which we'll talk a little bit about, HulkApps and so forth, and employed around 500 plus people, across that. To be honest with you, I think really the one thing that defines me as a person is I'm very humble. I still believe to the day to leading by example and showcasing people that, my hands are dirty, which basically just tells me, tells others, and especially, people that do follow me, my employees, my partners and colleagues, including you guys, tells them that I'm willing to put in the work rather than just sit here and talk about it. And